puts his head on in her lap and weeps. Yvette is on the floor by a chair whimpering. A small pistol flies by the gardener.
Giacomo!
He's dead, shot to the back of the head from close range by a very small caliber pistol. Sergeant, restrain Giacomo. There seems to be no way Gretchen could have gotten over there that quickly. And Yvette is in no condition to have done anything.
Here's the gun and the handkerchief that was used to hold the gun. No fingerprints.
Mein Gott, I was very fearful I would have to leave this country and this wunderbar family. This is heartbreaking. Roland has been with me, with the family. Wakefield has been with the family for over 40 years.
Well, at least we get to keep our cook. My stomach thanks you.
Sergeant, cuff Giacomo and take him to the car, and call the station to come pick him up.
I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. No,
We'll
you can't
see
do
about
that.
that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can have...
Oh, no, you haven't the wrong guy.
That about wraps it up. Thank you all for your cooperation.
Thank you, Detective Katz. But what about Marcel?
Well, I guess we have to keep looking for the body.
Well, maybe...
I am truly sorry.
Well, maybe there's still hope.
Well, you can always hope for the hopeless.
Always the optimist. I will be seeing you.
Detective Katz and Sergeant Abbott leave.
I hope not. After all, I really can't take anyone seriously named Peter Rabbit. Not to mention Bob Katz.
We will return to Murder Mystery Theater after a few words from our sponsor, Mr. Clean. Cleans your whole house and everything that's in it.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Floors, doors, walls, halls, white side towers, oak off walls, sinks, stove, bathrooms, he'll even clean your laundry too. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Can he clean a kitchen sink?
Quicker than a wink.
Can he clean a window sash?
Faster than a flash.
Can he clean a dirty mirror?
He'll make it bright and clearer.
Can he clean a diamond ring?
Mr. Clean cleans everything.
Oh, Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
We now return to the exciting conclusion of Murder at the Mansion. Late that night, in the kitchen, we find Gretchen humming a German song while cleaning up. Yvette enters.
Excellent job, my dear. No one can hear us now. They've all gone to bed. You can stay in the country now. Unless you ever tell the police or anyone else about the 3 murders.
Nein, Marcel. Schweigen.
Just one more person to kill. Once Paul is out of the picture, I'm home free.
Detective Katz steps out of the pantry with a gun in his hand.
Crap.
Not so fast. No one's around except me. Sergeant Abbott dropped me off at the end of the driveway when we found out no one had a small car. It belonged to Wakefield. It was no coincidence Giacomo kept pleading that he was not guilty. I guess something was wrong. You just confessed to aiding and abetting or actually killing 3 people and planning to kill a 4th. You, Monsieur, are under arrest.
You can't arrest me. You have no evidence.
Sergeant Abbott enters from the dining room through a swinging door with handcuffs at the ready.
Shit.
And I'm sorry, Gretchen, we'll have to arrest you too. You know the rest. Cuff them, Sergeant Abbott.
You know, you make quite a beautiful woman. Enough to even fool Paul. It's amazing that no one put 2 and 2 together sooner, especially since you started working here only 3 months ago.
There are 2 things that I don't understand, and that was one of them. The other one is, what would be your motive for killing Paul?
Paul never loved me. He didn't even notice me anymore. He was going to send me away and run off with someone else. I couldn't let him do that. I love him, and only he can allow me to live the way I like. No one else can have him. I'd kill him before I'd let that happen.
So you had Gretchen kill 3 people so no one would find out your plot.
Yeah.
Not one person you killed knew you were the murderer, and that you were out there alive and well. You killed them for nothing.
I'll never see a jail. I'll be back and no one can stop me. Paul will be mine.
That will never happen. Take him away. Well, that's my story. I know it sounds a bit unusual, but it's true. Now, where is everyone now, you might ask? Well, as you know, I'm retired. I'm still living in Smithtown, occasionally consulting with the local police. There's a lot more crowd in Smithtown, like the rest of Long Island. There are more wacky people around and all sorts of crimes, but none match the murders at the mansion. My life has turned out pretty ordinary, but how about the rest of them? Where did that come from? Marcel's lover, Paul, went into isolation in the very house he grew up in and died a lonely, forlorn, middle-aged man. Although he did become one of the area's top cribbage players. Paul's brother Malcolm was finally caught by his Javert, my colleague, Lieutenant Peter Abbott. Malcolm was found guilty of fraud. He had been selling non-existent property in Florida. The FBI gave Peter the thrill of arresting him. He got out of jail a few years ago and moved to Tahiti. Peter is now a captain with the Suffolk County Police and is looking forward to his retirement. I wonder if he will chase after Malcolm once again. Ethel Van Landingham, Paul and Malcolm's mother, hired a new butler after Roland Wakefield's demise. His name is Gilbert, another Brit. She's a bit of an Anglophile. They fell in love and moved to the south of France. You would think after Marcel she would want nothing to do with France. They started a winery. They both died in their 80s, well preserved. Giacomo was set free immediately after Marcel's arrest. He's now living in Tuscany, caring for a small garden at his family's villa. He continues to pursue his lifelong dream of growing the perfect olive. As for Gretchen, the cook, she was sent to jail for life. However, she was released for good behavior after 6 years. Immediately, she was deported to Germany, where she became a nanny to a wealthy family in Dusseldorf. She accepted the job with the understanding they would never hire a French maid. Now, I know you're all dying to know about Marcel. He was given a double life sentence and was accidentally incarcerated in the woman's prison. There he was mistreated by the inmates before the warden found out and sent him to an all-male prison. He lived out his days in Sing Sing, busily sending love letters to his favorite guard. Oh yeah, I did forget about Dorothy. I know she passed away, but she had the last laugh even after her death. She gave all of her estate to a special fund she set up for the widows of murdered husbands. Preference given to women with more than one murdered husband.
WSBN and yours truly hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Murder Mystery Theater. Tune in next week when Murder Mystery Theater presents The Rooster Crows at Midnight.
Before we read the epitaph,
the Alfred Lister case was never resolved. His lover, Henry Williams, died 3 years after Alfred Lister's disappearance. He left an estate worth about $2 million, the bulk of which was left to Mr. Lister, A private detective agency was hired to find Alfred Lister, but the case remains a mystery today. Was he murdered? Did he commit suicide or simply change his identity and move on? No one will ever know.
We still think he's buried at Sweetbriar.
Cheery way to end this.
They even dredged the river, or along the Nissequogue, didn't find anything. So, I gotta see if anybody even guessed who the murderer was. Nobody? Wow, in this big a crowd? Or you were too confused to figure out who the murderer was?